then I started discovering, how valuable is this work, how important is building these bridges and introducing myself to my fellow men and women from other faiths and other communities. And we started getting involved in different programs and with different interfaith alliances and organizations. And 2 years ago or 3 years ago, when I was invited by the state of Kuwait, the Ministry of Islamic Affairs in Kuwait, to speak at an international conference over there about my experience in the interfaith work. I was like, really? I mean, I thought the year before they invited Professor John Esposito. And the year after they invited me, and I was like making, the comparison. Am I at that level? I prepared a PowerPoint presentation about very simple things that we do here. When I went over there, I gave 2 presentations. There were people from everywhere in the Middle East. And then I just told them, this is what we do. These are the challenges we face. And these are the future perspectives. People started, when I say people, very intellectual thinkers from the Middle East started coming to me and telling me, wow, what you are doing and what you have achieved is great. And I'm like, this is what we do over there on a regular basis. I realized at that moment that we are leading the world when it comes to the interfaith work. Whether you know this or not, we are leading the world. And we are ready to export our experience to the whole world. As sometimes I connect with some of my friends, in Europe, especially in France, who are, imams over there. I ask them, what kind of work you do over there, with your Christian neighbors and Jewish neighbors, and almost zero. And I'm like, you have been there more than, the existence of the Muslim community in Europe, in terms of population and numbers, exceeds what we have here in North America. But I believe that what we are achieving here all together is something that the world needs to know about it. When recently I was contacted by the State Department, there is a Bureau of Speakers at the State Department, just asking me to get involved, if I will be willing to represent the United States wherever in the world, if there is any interfaith conference going on, just to talk about the interfaith work, to talk about the Muslim community, the Islamic Center, what's the role played by the Islamic Center here. I'm like, sure, I can do this. A few years ago, through a program that we have here in San Diego, an organization called the Diplomacy Council, something like this. Yes. Every time there is a delegation or someone here in San Diego area that coming from wherever in the world and having any kind of thing to do with kind of immigration, integration, or religious, tolerance or something like this, they ask me to meet with the delegation or with a person. A few years ago, I met with the advisor of the French president when Nicolas Sarkozy was the president. By the name, his advisor on immigration integration issues was by the name of Abdurrahman Dahman. He's French, but his parents migrated from Algeria. I met with him in my office for 2 hours, and he asked me about what we are doing here, especially our work with the youth. At the end of the meeting, he told me, I wish if we can do at least 10% of what you have achieved here in France. The community over there will be much, much better. And then he started telling me about the disconnection of the Muslim youth over there, about the French system, the French, structure that is not welcoming, that is racist, that, always keeping this gap between them and the Muslim minorities over there. And then later on, when I have heard that about 1,000 young Muslims from France being recruited to ISIS, I understood why this happened over there and it didn't happen here. This is about the connection. This is about the hard work that we are supposed to do. My dear brothers and sisters, often my interfaith colleagues ask me, especially whenever there is something going on in the nation or worldwide, how are you doing? And some of them, they pick up the phone, they call me, some of you actually send me emails and just, Imam, is everything going well? If you need anything, we are here for you. I really appreciate this. I used to say that, we received a hate voicemail, we received a hate mail, somebody tried to vandalize our property and all that stuff. Now, I'm not saying this anymore, because it's not happening. Now I'm saying that we are overwhelmed with the love and support we are receiving from our neighbors. Just recently, I have received a few emails. One email from one of our neighbors who have been living here for 29 years, just telling me that I've been watching your community, your congregation growing and prospering, and we are very glad to have you in our neighborhood. And I received a long email from one of my dear friends, faith leaders, from one of the churches in our area, sharing with me some messages that he received from his congregation members in the 15th anniversary of 9/11. I was in Mecca at that time doing the pilgrimage. And he shared with me a lot of messages of love and compassion and support. I would like to share with you just a few of them. Hi neighbors, we are blessed to call you friends, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Love, Coast families. The other one, America has always been your home. Thank you for gracing us with your friendship, for teaching us wisdom and peace, and for leading us to love our enemies and those who may hate us. May you feel the embrace and the love. One of them said, "Dear ICSD, Islamic Center of San Diego, a couple of weeks ago, my daughter and I got stuck in a mosque traffic. Okay? On Balboa. As we sat, it seems on Friday, as we sat there waiting and watching families and individuals crossing the street, we had this conversation. Isn't it cool that we get to slow down to watch all these people go somewhere to pray together? We were blessed by that traffic. We are so blessed to have you as a neighbor." And he said, "We love your solar panels too." So, actually in 2 or 3 days we're going to connect our building to the solar panels. So, we are going green. So, thank you. So these are the messages that we are receiving from our neighbors now. And these messages, this feeling, sharing this feeling didn't come from nowhere. It's the result of hard work that my community have been doing. It's the result of this interfaith connection. It's the result of reaching out to other faith-based communities, opening our hearts, our minds, our arms, embracing people with whom we do share some commonalities, but also there are differences. The challenge I believe that we are facing now is how to work together despite our differences. How to overcome these tension, this hatred, this bigotry that some people are trying to install in our society. How to overcome this, put it on the side, and get together as human beings and work together for the greater good of our San Diego, or Southern California, our nation, and for the whole world. Thank you so much.